And then the other thing I've been playing is this game called Ape Out. I don't know. Have you seen this at all?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, so I just heard about it last week. I didn't know anything about it. And so I checked it out on. I'm playing it on the Switch right now. It's out on PC and Switch. And it's basically it's a it's a game published by Devolver Digital. It's kind of a top down shooter beat 'em up game like Hotline Miami, essentially, which is why I got it. I'm a huge fan of that style of game. Um, Hotline Miami, when it came out, just kind of blew me away. I just fell in love with that style of game. So I pretty much play anything in this genre. I guess it's almost a genre now. You have other games like Mr. Shifty that I played a couple years ago, and then the recent game called the Hong Kong Massacre, which I haven't played yet. But it's cool. It actually ties into our music topic this week because it's a game that is inspired by jazz music of all things. So you basically play as this gorilla that's like breaking out of different places, and it's like I said, it's inspired by jazz music. So even the art style, which is kind of hard to describe, I don't know the best way to describe it. The creator said that it's inspired by jazz posters. So I don't know if you Google like jazz posters, and you kind of see this, sort of general art style they're going with it. And that's kind of what the game looks like. Just really wacky color schemes, really simplistic sort of shapes and colors, very weird contrasting colors and stuff. But yeah, it's like I said, it's inspired by jazz music, so it's like you have these weird little rhythmic drums. The soundtrack is mostly like percussion based, so you have like these little drums playing underneath everything. It's like kind of like old school, like I don't know, 50s, 60s, like big swing band, like boom, dum, da, bum, da, bum, da, bah, like kind of like that. And then when you throw enemies against the walls or you pick them up and toss them, they kind of splat. It's kind of like a cheesy, cartoony gore. But when you throw them against the wall and stuff, it kind of does like cymbal crashes and stuff. So it gives it this sort of improvisational, this jazz improv like style where there's like cymbal crashes going where you're killing enemies and stuff like that. And it's basically the levels are procedurally generated. So it kind of also lends itself to the sort of jazz inspiration of being, improv. So like every time you play, it's different. So the sounds and the way you move through the level and the way you play it is different every time. There's certain little parts to the levels that are almost like scripted in a way, or little scripted events that need to happen. So there will be certain sections that are the same every time, but everything around that is different. But it's super fun. Like I said, I like these type of games. It's very simplistic and as far as gameplay. I mean, you basically just either grab dudes and throw them, or just punch them. It's basically a two button game. It's not too difficult. It's not as brutal as Hotline Miami is, where you have like people shooting you from off screen and stuff like that. It's not this sort of Twitch game that Hotline Miami is, but it's very much like that. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's kind of cool because the levels are broken up into what are called albums, and then you have like the individual levels are actually tracks, and then you have like a B side, stuff like that. So it's all like themed around jazz and music and stuff like that. So it's super cool. But yeah, that's about it for this week.